Okay, we convene the Health and Human Services Committee meeting. Anyone wish to be heard? We have, I think, 3 resolutions. They mostly involve unexpended funds from 3 different grants. The first one is a resolution to allow the county executive to sign contracts for provision of mental health, mental retardation, alcoholism, substance abuse services. And
I'll sponsor, Chair. I'll second.
Second. And to the full board?
Yes.
Thank you. Barb, did you wish to be heard?
No, I'm sorry.
I
She has to second it.
seconded.
So
Okay.
just let me-
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's going to the full board?
Yes.
All right. Resolution amending the operating budget for the Ebola grant carryover funds. Is there a sponsor?
I'll sponsor, Chair.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Full board?
Full board.
Thank you. And the same is true with the immunization action plan. It's a carryover grant.
I'll sponsor.
Sponsored?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Full
Aye.
board?
Aye, full board.
Thank you. Yes.
My apologies for interrupting. I just wanted to give the legislature an update regarding the position of acting director of community service and mental hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
As many recall, just as a quick update, we used to have a part-time position. Jim Demir retired. We were informed after looking into it that this was required to be a full-time position by the state. In November, we brought on an acting director of community service. Her name is Sarah Barenko, very well qualified, very talented. On December 4th, she received approval from the state as our acting director. We are currently right now, and at that point they gave us an informal, yes, she meets all the guidelines and requirements, but we still need, before I can make the official appointment, I just didn't want anyone to question why it has not come before you yet. The reason for that is we need to get official approval from Oasis regarding her approval in this position. Once we get that approval, then I can make the formal appointment as the director of community services, and then it would come to you for your confirmation. So we're expecting that in the time being, but in the meantime, she's been serving as the acting director. In my opinion, been doing a fantastic job, and I just wanted to give you a brief update on that as part of the process.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
With that, we'll convene the Education and Government Committee. Any discussion before the board? I think I have some. I wanted to ask Legislator Weeds the updates that we were working on, the rules of the legislature. Does that come before this committee?
The rules of procedure that were discussed on January 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah, they came before this committee in October 2015 and then again in November 2015.
I certainly appreciate your work there and would look to you for assistance going forward.
Thank you, I would be happy to assist.
I think you did some great stuff. Okay. Anyone else?
We did say that we were going to, and I realized that it was not supported at January 1st meeting, but we did say we were going to look in the first month or two, right? I mean, I think that's what Jared said prior, so is that kind of the intent? Let's revisit that.
Yeah, I think everything is set up there. We already know the discussion points on legislators have pretty much explained where they feel, especially with respect to the committee system. But we can talk about it a little bit more. And I think we should make some choices and document accordingly and just get on with it.
Hypothetically, we use that a lot. Hypothetically, let's say that we wanted to go ahead and, with a little tweak here and there, kind of go with what was talked about, not what we're doing now, but the other, you know, the full board and.
Yeah.
I suppose it could be possible to continue with what we have through the end of the year, or what would you do now that we've already, maybe it's a question for the chairs.
Yeah, well,
I don't know, could we just transition into that, or would it be, how would you do it? Please.
So officially, your rules of procedure are your rules of procedure until you pass a resolution changing them. So if you were going to change them, presumably it would start committee, someone would present revised rules, and then it would be considered by full board if it went through committee. So it had to go through the normal process.
I got the process on how we would need to do it. I guess I'm asking what would be, just because we've now had everybody appointed, that doesn't mean that we can't. You know what I'm trying to say? You want to be functional. You know, you don't want it to be distraction for us. You don't want it to be, what would be the flow here? I know the flow of the process, but, you know, to make something like that.
well, are you asking if we could just do it as we go, make the amendments, or amend the entire document?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying as far as the bigger part, where you don't have the three people in the committee to go to the full board. I mean, is that just something you would do for the next meeting, whenever that is? You just start it, or how would that flow for us? You know, you don't want to see it flow. Maybe it wouldn't matter.
Well, you know, it seems to me we've been operating, even though we have 3-member committees. We've pretty much been operating as an entire board to begin with. We're doing that right now, as a matter of fact. So we're making it work. I think, if anything, my fear has to do with the decorum and sometimes not addressing the chair. And I think that those are rules that have to be enforced. Martin?
And I would think moving forward, we would just end up making the chairs of the committees the liaisons, like it was originally discussed. And I think it'd be a smooth transition, like you said. We all participate in every single committee meeting already.
So, I'm just wondering if we shouldn't put the proposed rules that right where they are right now, put them up for the next meeting. We can move to amend and discuss as we go. We can do it in a formal session if that's your pleasure. Or we can continue on for another month and carve out a meeting here. But the idea now is that right now we have 3-member committees, and we would be working on something that all of us really need to participate in. What I would like to do then is I would like to put the document as it stands now, the amended document, the proposed document. I would like to put that up for a vote, and we can amend it on the fly at the next formal meeting. Is a second? Any further discussion there?
What did we do? Did you just?
We're going to take the document as amended and presented at the last meeting. We're going to move it as a resolution. If there are parts of that are objectionable to any of the members, they can move to amend. So we'll have the new rules of procedure based on the amendments as changes as was done through committee and really discussed at length. And this will give the board an opportunity to vote on it.
So you're sponsoring the resolution, Martin, seconded to go to the full board this
Yep.
month?
Yep, we're proposing the rules
Yes.
and procedures that were discussed at the organizational meeting moving forward to full board.
So bringing back the resolution from the organizational meeting, just bringing it back at the end of the meeting.
Well, is that procedurally, is that correct, since it was already at the, can we just move it from the floor since it was already tabled? That's all we really need to do.
it up at a meeting prior to, or after that, and then.
Sure, we could even go another month if you choose.
If there is any chopping.
I would like to get past it.
Yeah, I
We'll
agree.
have the discussion and we'll do it. Would you like another committee meeting for that purpose?
We could have one.
We could do it right now. You have copies? Okay, we're gonna move that to the back of the agenda and we'll talk about it again. Is there any other old business? We have, there is a table resolution. What is that one? Yes, and I'd like to call on Roy.
Okay, so, as you know, I think everyone knows the history, so it's been quite a while. So, what the new local laws say, it's been slimmed down. I provided a summary of how it started, where we were, and most recently worked with the county attorney who has worked with other counties, and also NICEAG to come up with this document here. And I wanted to get it on your desk for 10 days prior to the full board meeting. But basically what's transpired from the previous version I sent you to now is, if you look under the part of what's been removed from the document submitted October of 2015, and it would be the last three items listed there. Section on consumer protection requirements, section on record of purchase and sale, and section on notice to customers. What we did was we got away from the laws that are already stated in Article 26 of Ag and Markets Law. There was some redundancy in here. That's not the purpose of this local law. This purpose of this local law is to set a higher standard of care for the animals. And so we're down to 8 pages from the original 21 or 22. And if you had any questions, I'd be glad to answer it. And there may be one or more tweaks at the final meeting. Legislative ways.
The only thing that I saw in here, I think, it's definitely come a long ways. Under section 3 on page 3 for enforcement, it says that the local law shall be enforced by the Montgomery County Department of Consumer Affairs. I'm not going to state the obvious that it doesn't exist, but my thought was, we've had a discussion during charter talks about, we have a department all on weights and measures, which in a lot of counties is combined in a Department of Consumer Affairs. And obviously that would have to be changed in the charter if we were to rename that or assign different duties to that position. But I just wanted to offer that as a potential avenue forward in renaming that Department of Consumer Affairs and consolidating that all under one department if that moves forward in this form and that structure.
Excellent observation. And that, like Albany County, I know, for instance, the Department of Consumer Affairs is what you measure. So that's definitely our intent. Just checking out the legalities of it and some service laws and things like that to make sure that's doable.
Okay, does that require a modification the clerk needs to know about?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Chair, if you could, maybe refer to legislative document, the part about the horses making a mess that's out.
That was removed. Basically, it was put in for discussion purposes. But with any local law, you have to be specific. It should be for one cause, and that really didn't fit into strengthening animal welfare
enforcement. And the enforcement will be won't be cost neutral. And concerning the pet dealer for K, it has a little bit of concern for me. The last part where this definition shall not include duly incorporated humane societies or animal protective associations dedicated to the care of unwanted animals, which make such animals available for adoption, whether or not a fee is for such adoption. I think that would exclude people that also take care of animals. So just the language concerns me, as well as one other thing. On page 4, it is very specific to the degrees. So just the language, maybe some tweaking is concerning, but I want to thank you for the effort that was in both Roy and Martin. I know that you spent so much time on this, so thank you.
Thank you. Legislator Patel.
I would really like to see that we move this forward. We've been discussing it for 2 years. I think it's important that we have a basis to start on. We can make adjustments or additions in the future. I don't think we're ever going to have a perfect document. With that said, I just go to paragraph E on page 4 about all the housing facilities shall be equipped with a smoke alarm and shall have means of fire suppression such as fire extinguishers or sprinkler systems on premises. Maybe kind of hard with our Amish friends that don't have electricity. And just would be sensitive to that.
Okay, thank you, Chair. To follow up on what Legislator Patel was saying, and also the temperature too, I'm not quite sure, and if I may address Roy, the housing facilities are for all the animal, I mean, is it specifically for dogs or
Yes,
just for dogs?
yes.
My only concern with, and I know Legislator Kelly and you, Legislator Diamond, and certainly the county attorney put a lot of work in it. When this first came out, I got a lot of negative feedback from the towns. And we are kind of doing what the towns are doing with this. They have the dog wardens, they go and investigate problems. I'm not quite sure how they're in the mix with this. You know, is this just another layer of government? Would it be possible if we could send this to the towns to see if they are okay with it? Because once you have to work with the towns,
Actually, we're just setting the standard of care that we want to see. The towns could be even more stringent than this.
Okay.
They at least need to be this stringent, they can be more stringent if
Well-
needed. But that's what they would be, enforcing.
and again, I'm just asking, if there was a problem, let's say in the town of Minden, would the dog warden be responding first, in charge of the problem to correct it, or would we be going there?
Well, if they have a dog warden and have their own dog laws, they would be responsible. All we're saying is that they need to live up to the standard of care.
So shouldn't somehow the town be tied in with this?
Well, they can be tied into it, but they don't have to be, or they can be even more stringent. So it's really up to the towns. This basically sets standard of care for the county.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to do here, and, you know, that's great. I didn't want a conflict with the towns. that's
Yeah,
all.
I understand. I know somebody brought up, if I can share, brought up the degrees. That is not only a recommendation from the American Kennel Club, but also
gotta vote yay or nay, or just set it aside. I think some of these things are details, and you can move to amend when the time comes. But I would like to see the thing removed from the table at the next meeting and move it along. Go ahead. Well, I'm sorry.
I just wondered, this co-housing, bitches and heat, and nursing puppies, and seriously, what is the significance of the 6 adult? Is there a significance with the 6 adult dogs is because how big the room is they're in? I mean, what happens if somebody had a large area and they could easily serve more than 6 and it's broken off? What is the significance of it?
We're just providing a minimum requirement.
Okay.
They could definitely have.
Thank you.
I have a question on the exercise area.
Yeah.
I know, when I especially having some animal shelters, no carrying I understand this isn't directed towards them, but a lot of their enclosures don't meet that standard.
Right. It also, they, generally at the shelters, they exercise the dogs themselves. They take the dogs over the walls. They don't have the dogs exercise. They exercise the dog, they don't expect the dog to exercise themselves.
Provided they have enough volunteers.
Right, provided they have enough.
So I would entertain a motion to move this to yes?
I would make a motion or second to remove it from the table.
Okay, motion to remove from the table. Is there a second? You have a second? Okay. So we'll bring this to the full board. Favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed to that? Okay. So now we're done. I think we have one resolution here. And I'm not seeing it. This is regarding just to amend the operating budget for Preserve New York Grant History and Archives. It's to increase revenues by $10,000 and increase appropriations for professional services by the same amount, so it's budget neutral. And again, over at History and Archives, the grant writing there has been stellar, and we're happy to see that. Sponsor Ryan, second, Tom, or Martin? Okay. And full board? Thank you. Okay, so now we're at the end of that agenda, and we have before us now, I think everyone has the old and new rules of procedure.
Thank you.
You have it? Okay, well, go ahead.
I certainly think there's a lot to digest between 215 and 216 proposed. What do I ask? It would be certainly helpful to me if we could have a list of the difference, or to differentiate between the two. And I think if we had a list of that, we could go down, knock them off, and try to be organized rather than having conversations that are going all over the place.
Legislator, can you help us out there? You have that, right?
I have that. I'll send it over to Cheryl again and have her make reproduce copies, or, well, I can send it over for next month. I can send it over right now. It's
Okay.
a document that I have.
So-
Send it, I can print it.
I'd like some time to digest.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that. It's just that I'd like to move these things along.
Sure.
We'll take another month. Okay, we're going to distribute that, and then we'll address, at the next committee meeting, we'll address and discuss the changes and try to get the thing set up for the next meeting.
Have the clerk put it on next month.
Okay?
Okay, so the earlier sponsored resolution and Martin seconded to put it on the full board. We're not gonna do that now.
Right.
You know, I think if we do this smart, we can have a list that we go down and really differentiate between what the differences are.
I hold my second. Okay, it's still in committee.
So we're going to keep it in committee one more month. Was that your intent?
Yeah, my intent was that, but more importantly, getting in writing what the differences are.
That's
so we're
coming.
Not guessing what.
That's forthcoming. All right, very good.
Well,
Yes?
no, I just wondered, I think we already go through these, so then.
A comparison was provided in October, yes.
That's okay. That's cool. Let's just do this so that we can get through. One more month isn't going to matter. I can assure you that we're going to be adhering to the old rules at the next meeting. As I already had that conversation with Terry, and I will be calling a point of order every time somebody gets out. I think somebody's getting out of line, except for myself. Martin will be the assigned person for that. Okay, so let's give this another month. We'll go over the changes one by one, and then we'll finish this up. Motion to adjourn?
You got it.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you, Chair.